If you happen to get deeply aroused by affordable smartphones, smart assistants, or people verbally abusing bald northerners, well then this week's show is going to be stiffy central. Seriously, you won't even be able to sit down again until mid-April. Not only are we having a serious squint at Samsung's upcoming Galaxy A37 and A57, but we're also checking out Amazon's clever arse upgraded Alexa assistant. And as always, we'll finish by opening Pandora's box. If Pandora's box was filled with poorly spelled comments calling me a bold prick. So without further ado, jingle me. Techspert Weekly. So usually us tech twats are just about done reviewing the latest Galaxy S series flagship phones when Samsung decides to launch its more affordable A series alternatives. Last year's Galaxy A36 and A56 were perfectly decent mid-ranges, and according to leaks they will soon be succeeded by the fresh new Galaxy A37 and A57, both of which have thoroughly leaked on bits of the internet that aren't actually porn. According to these leaks, the Galaxy A57 has slimmed down a wee bit, so it's now a hamster's happy sack under 7mm, while those bezels are skinnier for a more premium vibe. For performance, the Galaxy A37 will be powered by Samsung's own Exynos 1480, which was last seen stuffed in 2024's Galaxy A55, while the A57 will get an upgrade to a fresh new Exynos 1680 chipset, so both should be able to handle a wee bit of gaming, while you can also once again expect them to come packing a vapor chamber for cooling. But these leaks do also suggest that the A37 and the A57 will come with just 128 gigs of storage as standard. I'm really hoping that that's a bigger heap of bollocks than the contents of a castration clinic's bin. Because after all, last year's A36 and A56 served up 256 gigs of storage as standards here in Blighty, which is pretty much essential these days, especially with whopping great gits like Wuthering Waves taking up 50 friggin' gigs by themselves. And component costs are rising, but I'd still be more disappointed than a eunuch's wife on honeymoon if Samsung slips back to that measly storage here in Blighty, especially as there's apparently once again sod all love for micro SD. Now, according to those rumours, Samsung appears to have slapped the same display on the front end of the Galaxy A37 and A57, and it does sound suspiciously similar to the previous generation. We're talking a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED screen with Full HD Plus resolution and 120Hz refresh, although it might sport the usual display upgrade of course, basically being a wee bit brighter. And that battery tech also sounds completely unchanged from the previous generations. Both the A37 and the A57 should come packing a 5000 mAh cell with 45W wired charging and bugger all wireless charging. That camera tech sounds pretty familiar too, so the A57 will seemingly sport another 50MP main sensor, as well as a 12MP ultra-wide shooter and a 5MP macro sensor. Whoop. It seems that exact same camera hardware will also be shoved on the Galaxy A37, and that does mean a slight upgrade for the ultra-wide angle shooter, which used to be a more basic 8MP effort. And both cheapy Galaxies will apparently once again serve up a 12MP selfie cam. Now, Android 16 will be invasively penetrated by One UI 8.5, complete with a whole heap of AI-flavoured shindiggery, naturally. And rounding off those specs, you should get a lovely bit of eSIM action once again, as well as 5G and Wi-Fi 6 support, while that A57 may boast an upgrade to a bit of Bluetooth 6. Woof! And so far, the pricing in Thailand has leaked, but no word so far on how much these mid-range mobiles will cost you here in the UK. Really hoping that price tag hasn't increased though over the 399 GBPs and 499 GBPs of the previous gen. And as I was shooting this, still no word on the official launch or release date either, but you can expect them to be spaffed out probably in the next month or so. So that right there, my lovelies, is the new Galaxy A Duo, but on the pot noodle scale, how excited are you? And personally, I'm probably about a beef and tomato, maybe just about stretching to a doner kebab. Certainly not a Bombay bad boy though. Let us know your own thrill level via the medium of convenient rehydrated snack down below. And now, it's time for this. Uncle Spurt reacts to stuff and some of it makes him glum. Some makes him happy, some makes him mad, and some of it is your mum. So the UK version of Alexa is 10 years old. If it was your child, it would already be playing Fortnite 6 hours a day and calling you a c***. And to celebrate, Amazon is finally bringing Alexa Plus here to Blighty. And if you don't know what Alexa Plus is, it's basically a smarter version of the popular assistant which launched stateside just last year. And this is a pretty bloody big upgrade as well. For comparison purposes, just imagine if KSI had his head scooped out and a normal person's brain put in there. We're talking a big improvement. For one, Alexa Plus is a more conversational experience similar to Gemini. Just talk naturally at it and chances are it will understand, even if you've got a dodgy accent like your Uncle Spurt or use a fair bit of British slang. And the functionality has greatly increased as well. So for instance, Alexa Plus can check for availability at your favorite restaurant using OpenTable. It can then book you in and then add that reservation to your calendar all in just a few seconds. Alternatively, you can just order you a takeaway on Just Eat or Uber Eats if you can't be arsed with all of that going outside bollocks. And Alexa Plus can also track prices of items on Amazon, intelligently control your smart home goodies, and conjure up recipes for specific diet types based on the ingredients in your fridge. So a big step up. My only real complaint is that Alexa Plus is even more annoyingly chirpy than before. Literally every request you make, Alexa is like, "Oh, brilliant, that's a fantastic question. What an absolute legend you are." So if you were to say, "Alexa, what can I do about my seriously painful, debilitating case of hemorrhoids?" it would be like, "Oh, amazing, mate. Here's some absolutely smashing ointments for your lovely bum grapes." And that's very much not your Uncle Spurt's vibe. I need my smart assistant to be at least as miserable as I am. Hey, what's the weather like today?
Why don't you look out the f***ing window, you lazy instead of bothering me?
Fair. But that wee grumble aside, Alexa Plus certainly seems like a solid and much needed improvement to Amazon's smart assistant to bring it in line with the likes of Gemini. But bear in mind you will need to be a Prime subscriber to use Alexa Plus, otherwise it'll cost you 20 quid a month to use this upgraded assistant. That's considerably more than a Prime subscription, so I don't know why you wouldn't just get Prime. And Alexa Plus will be available across pretty much all of the Amazon Echo devices, as well as of course the Alexa app. And if you want to try out Alexa Plus for free, well, early access is now available. I'll try and remember to stick the sign up link down in the video description, but bear in mind when I come to upload this video, I'll probably be at least 6 or 7 pints deep, so see if that actually happens. Anyway, let us know how you get on if you manage to get into that early access. I'll hopefully be doing a full video on it at some point. And anyway, now it's time for the part of the show that involves more roasting than a brewer's fair on Sunday. It's viewer comments. Viewer comments.
Denied! Sit down!
So Bristle88 says, "Is a 2-week break code for I was in the slammer and it took 2 weeks for the bail to be processed?" Your Uncle Spurt was not banged up, no, but I'm absolutely delighted that you all have such high regard for me. Now, I actually spent just far too much time this past fortnight in a vaguely sort of soberish state, desperately trying to review my way through all of the bloody phones and tablets and whatnot that have been stacked up this past month. And I'm almost there, loyal viewers. I'm currently working my way through one of the final phones that launched this past couple of weeks, the Poco X8 Pro Iron Man edition, no less. Because Poco seems to have an absolutely raging throb on for Tony Stark for some reason. And I've just got a couple more embargoed blows to crack on with, and then I can finally go on a proper 2-week break. This one mostly involving a couple of crates of single malt and being as unconscious as possible. Fugazi says, "Came for the review, stayed for the elephant love truncheon." Remember, you don't choose the elephant love truncheon, the elephant love truncheon chooses you. And Dennis Singleton says, "Phil Foden getting strays for no reason, ha ha ha." To which the Glass Submarine says, "In fairness, Phil Foden is as thick as mince." Yeah, honestly, I do feel kind of bad. Phil Foden, he does look like his IQ is probably slightly lower than room temperature, but I'm sure he's a perfectly smart fella, really. And at the 2-minute 19-second timestamp, Chowderly has said, "Are you TF, bro?" I do love how YouTube is offering to translate that comment into English, and the translation just seems to change "are you" to "come on." What actually happened at 2:19? Comes with a minimum 256 gigs of the stuff rather than the measly 128 gigs of the iPhone 16e. I mean, that wasn't even enough space to download a week's worth of your mum's bukkake videos. Oh, yeah, fair enough. I take it this is your first Techspert Weekly rodeo, Chowderly, because yeah, compared with other tech news shows, you'll find slightly more bukkake chat here. So last week's show, unfortunately, was all about the supposedly affordable rip-off that is the iPhone 17e, so plenty of correspondence on that front, including from Darktrain1971, who says, I made it 2 minutes into the review, and then you came, right? And Josephine says that gaming performance is genuinely surprising. Apple must have really hindered that chip if you're playing on single-digit frame rates on any game in the App Store. I would say a chunk of it is also probably down to Wuthering Waves not being properly optimized, but certainly if you are a gamer, you'd be much better off with something like the Red Magic 11 Air. You got that gorgeous, whopping great full view 144Hz display, you got excellent performance, you got absolutely fantastic battery life, loads of dedicated gaming features, and all for a much cheaper price than that iPhone 17e. Vonnegut Rosewater says, the last time a phone that I bought still had a 60Hz screen was like 2020, maybe the LG Wing or the Pixel 4a or something. Yeah, they're certainly thinking different, that's for sure. Orion IGI says, Google Pixel 10a Apple Edition. Pretty much, although I guess at least Apple upgraded to 256 gigs of storage. Phil G says, so Apple have done the same as Google then. Would it be possible to improve this by installing a wallpaper just like yours? If only we knew where to get them from. Go on then. Wall.alphacoders.com. Wall.alphacoders.com. That's where my wallpapers come from. Wall.alphacoders.com. Nobber says, I've just received my iPhone 17e and I can see a clear gap in the back glass at the bottom left. It sounds like yours is proper bollocks, mate. I would absolutely send that one back and get a replacement, or just don't get a replacement, just get your money back and get a decent phone. Let's call that one a blessing in disguise. And Magic says, remember, you can get a MacBook Neo for the price of this phone. Or indeed, as I've just worked out, approximately 480 packs of Mr. Porky's pork scratchings or 685 cans of wife beater, both considerably more beneficial for your mental state. Bonus Baby says, was the Jason Voorhees reference due to this video dropping on Friday the 13th, or was that a wild coincidence? I honestly don't know. Possibly somewhere in the deepest recesses of my brain that connection was made, but I have been meaning to do a full-on Friday the 13th movie marathon on one of these many the Friday the 13th we seem to be having at the moment, but I'm guessing that would absolutely eat up the entire day because there's so many of them. Actually, let's just ask Gemini how long it would take. If I was to watch all of the Friday the 13th movies back to back, how long would that take?
Watching all 12 films takes approximately 18 hours and 30 minutes.
So yeah, easily a full day. In fact, at my age, you've got to factor in many piss breaks as well, so that would probably boost it up to about 23 hours. Simension says, so when is that Nothing Phone 4a Pro review coming? See, you're already on it. The embargo on that lifted just yesterday, in fact, so the review went live. I even did one of those Premiere jobbies so people could point out exactly how much bollocks I was talking in real time. I definitely go have a squint at that if you haven't done so already. And Lynn Guren says, 314, is that CM Punk? Jesus Christ. Yeah, actually, yeah, if I had hair, I would practically be his bloody twin, apparently. His slovenly, cowardly, alcoholic twin, obviously, who would never engage in physical bouts of manly grappling, because frankly, these days, I put my back out just by breaking wind. Last couple of comments, bang out of time again. Gerard Martin says, I finally figured it out. Uncle Spurt looks like the love child of Morby and Dan Levy. I think you've got that absolutely spot on, actually, mate. Basically, Morby's slaphead with Dan's lusciously thick eyebrows slapped on there. I'm a bit confused by this one. Deepak Das just says AI artificial intelligence generated, as in this entire show, because reasonably sure even AI wouldn't churn out something this shonky, probably not even 1990s era AI. Although hey, I do look a wee bit like the Lawnmower Man, I guess. Anyway, massive thank you to everyone who commented last week. Please do tappity tap your comments down below and we'll get through as many of those as possible next week. And speaking of next week, what the f*** is next week? So next week, things finally starting to calm the fuck down. So no smartphone launches or anything that I'm aware of. So I'm gonna just try and smash out my review of the Poco X8 Pro Iron Man Edition. Got a few other tasty tech tidbits coming your way as well. So if you haven't done so already, please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell, and make sure you have an absolutely ruddy wonderful weekend. Cheers everybody, love you.